It's not necessarily 4 seasons, but the seasons follow the cycles of water. You have to look at it as, and not only does the season follow the cycle of water, but the seasons are determined by the two first elements that were ever created, which is air and water. So the first cycle of water, which is in February, is when all of the water gets dispersed without the land. The next cycle is when all of the water starts to rise. As its water rises, the heat rises too. So the first cycle is what will be considered spring, and then the next cycle is what would be considered summer. So since I'm in Florida, and Florida is the most balanced land on earth, basically, because it's the land it is the land that is closest to the beginning. It never snows in Florida for a reason. My bad. It's not necessarily that the water rises, but like you know what I mean. Like things start to grow. I have the seasons follow also the zodiac signs, which I'm about to show in a minute. This is like a mock version of all of the different dates for the signs, but these different colors are the cycles of water. So the first one that I showed before is in Pisces. So the first cycle of water, which is when everything starts to get dispersed, starts in February. The next cycle starts in June when everything starts to fully grow. And then the last cycle is when everything starts to die off again, or when everybody should have all their shit picked out already. And then, so the next cycle of water can continue. So it goes February when the first cycle starts, everything starts to get dispersed. It takes 4 months. So the Pisces, February, April, March to April, you know what I mean. And then the next cycle is the start of where the Cancer starts. And then the last cycle is where the Scorpio starts. This is sort of like a mock draft for all of the different dates and when they start and end and shit like that. But the first cycle is when, hold on. I'm going to repeat it one more time, but I'm going to show all of the dates. The first cycle is when the water starts to fully get pushed out throughout the land. The second cycle is when all of the things start to grow and the air starts to rise. And as the air rises, the heat starts to help everything grow. Warm air rises, cold air sinks. So after the air rises, so after the air rises and everything starts to grow, that's when everything starts to die off again and the things start to get frozen around October or around where the Scorpio starts. So as water gets dispersed without the land, the earth seeps into the ground and everything starts to grow. And the last one, everything starts to fall down again and everything starts to die. So the next cycle of water can repeat itself. So the saying is water flows, water grows, and then water goes, and then it repeats itself.